It is the principles that sustain creation. Now, you understand the principle and you derive a law out of it. Like gravity is a principle. Akarshanam. Nyaya Shastra talks about it. Okay? It's an akarshanam, the attraction between bodies. Then you draw a general law, a universal law out of it. Okay? Directly proportional to their masses, inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two. General law. Then you make a measurable law on earth at sea level. This is it. Gravitational acceleration will be this. Gravity is a principle. The order of things, not man-made. A universal order is part of Ishvara's order. Similarly, there are laws of physics, principles of physics, chemistry, psychology, human beings, dharma. Not one of them is man-made. We discover them. Because it is not man-made, we instinctively have some understanding. Now, as a human being, we have measured gravity quite respectably, quite well, and we have a good understanding of it. But do you think the animals don't understand gravity? The monkey baby, newborn monkey baby, knows it has to hang on to his mother, because the mother is jumping from tree to branch. If you don't hang on, you will fall. That much gravity understanding the baby monkey has. Universal. Universal. Without education. Similarly, ethical laws. Do you think a child has to be taught to be honest? The child has to be told, speak the truth and nothing but the truth. The child is embarrassingly honest, brutally honest. Yeah. He'll embarrass you with his honesty. Yeah. Why? Because lying has to be taught. Hey, beta, we don't say these things in public. Yeah. So, then as they grow up, then they learn how to lie because of fear, this, that, etc. A lot of other things come into the picture. Socialization. Okay, but universals. Therefore, he says, obey the universals, and because they are from Ishvara, you say they are all devatas. Ishvara is manifest in this. Ishvara is manifest as all these laws. Therefore, they are all taken as devatas, divine, not simple things. It is not that we were a primitive religion that worship the sun and the moon and electricity and lightning and all. We are not primitive, we are very sophisticated in our thinking. Okay? Yeah. We understood what it was, and therefore we invoked Ishvara through any of these, because all these are Ishvara's manifestation. So you can invoke Ishvara through any manifestation. That's how the whole thing comes about. Therefore, Devan bhavayantu anena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha. Like this, supporting each other, Shreya paramam apsyataha. Can go all the way up to moksha, he says. All the way up to moksha you can go. He's elaborating that a bit. Ishtan bhoganiha vo devaha dasante yaknya bhavitaha taedattan pradhaye bheho yo bhungte stena eva saha. Ishtan bhogan iha vo devaha. O Deva, Ishtan Bhogan, whatever you desire, Yajna Bhavitaha San Dasyante. If you invoke them in the Yajna, the whole thing is a Yajna going on, okay? Every action is an offering to the Lord. Every result is prasadaha. He says, Te dattan apradebhyo biha yo bhungte stena evasa. Who enjoys these gifts from Ishvara's order without acknowledging them, without a sense of gratitude, he says, is considered as a thief. Why? The order gave you things. You are not acknowledging the order. I did it. What did you do? You know, the story will illustrate it. Scientists produce life in the laboratory. Okay? By a process they produce life. So they told God, we don't need you now, we can produce life. Hey, great. How did you do it? We took some earth. Hey, 1 second. Get your own earth. Get your own earth. Are you getting the idea? What did you do? All these potential exists in the order. You put together a few things and you made some. You manifested a potential which is already there. We've seen this in the second chapter. Na bhavo vidyate sataha, na sato vidyate bhavaha. And there we saw, are you creating an existing pot out of clay or a non-existing pot? If you say a non-existing pot, then I will say make a pot out of paper, a pot that will carry water out of paper. I can't do. Why? It doesn't have the potential. That means the pot existed as a potential. No? Then what are you doing? Making an existing pot? Then what are you creating? Nothing. You are manifesting a potential. That's all creation is. So, by obeying some of Ishvara's order, you manifest a potential. If you don't acknowledge that, you become an arrogant idiot. That's all. That's all that becomes. Exaggeration here, you are like a thief, he says. Like a thief. Yeah. Because the ultimate copyright is with him, okay? Yeah. So what are you doing? To say, I did it. So that's the beauty of it. Once who recognizes it, instead of saying, I did it, he will say, thank God I could do it. Simple difference. But it makes a huge difference in your attitude, in your approach to life. Yeah. Because that's all that is there. What is it that you can do without obeying the natural laws? I won't even say laws of science, because there are a lot of things which science yet has to find out. The universal laws, all from Ishvara. What is it that I can do? Nothing. I mean, my whole existence is based on that law. No? If the sun was a few hundred kilometers closer, life wouldn't exist on earth. Yeah. If it was a few hundred kilometers farther away, again life wouldn't exist. It would have been a frozen planet. Yeah. So the whole order. So here we are. Okay. Bhunktis tena eva saha. Okay. Yajna shishtan ashinaha santaha muchyante sarvakhil vishaihi bhunjante tvagham papam ye pachanti atma karana. Yajna shishta achinaha. Those who eat what is left over after the yaga or the prasada of the yaga. Te muchyante sarvakhil vishaihi. They are freed from all conflicts, all raga, dvesha, this, that. Why? That is prasada buddhi, isn't it? What is left after a yaga? What comes to you is prasada. Therefore, after your yaga is over, your actions are done, the result is nothing but prasada. See, directly Krishna has not mentioned prasada buddhi anywhere. It is all derived from verses like this, okay? Yeah. At the end of the yaga, what is left behind? Don't say ashes. There are a lot of other things left behind. Ashes also have vibhuti. Yeah. Yeah. It's a blessing. So what is left behind? The prasada is left behind. So, yeah. Therefore, the attitude of prasada will be. It is not merely doing the yaga itself. Yaga, by yaga, I am including all karma into it, okay? Yes. Worldly karmas, so-called secular karmas, all that is included. Because what is really secular, tell me? What is it that is different from Ishvara? If he is a material for the whole creation, what is different to call it secular? In India, the concept of secular didn't exist. Everything was divine, everything was sacred. So what is secular? So the rules of politics was also sacred. There are certain rules, principles, etc. involved in politics, ethical, the ethics behind political functioning. Sacred. It is written by the rishis. It is purported by that. Yeah. So what is, we didn't have the sacred secular divide because we looked at it as an order. We did not have religious interference into politics. The religious had dictating terms. That we never had. So there was always a Rajaguru in the council. In the council of ministers, there was a Rajaguru. Why? To ensure that ethics, etc. is followed in the rule of law. That's all. And it's not surprising we say, oh, this is a, it is not interference of religion. Do you know, in medical hospitals, big ones, there's an ethical committee. And it is mentioned, this was formed, these rules were formed under the Congress government, not under the BJP government or the NDA government. Okay? That preferably one of the persons in that ethical committee should be a religious leader, a social worker, etc. So that's why for about 14-15 years I was in an ethical committee in Jaslok. Yeah. Why? Because hey, you're supposed to understand universal ethics. And remember, universal ethics, not your narrow religious ethics. In fact, religion cannot narrow down universal ethics. Religion can enhance universal ethics with a better understanding, but it cannot narrow it down. Yeah. It has to respect the universal. In fact, build up on the universal. Anyway, that's a big topic some other time. Okay. Therefore, he says, Yajna Shishtashanaha Yav Muchyante Sarvakil Vishayi. And the other side, Bhujyante tu agham papam ye pachanti atmakarana. Whereas those who are taking it as only personal, atmakarana, not acknowledging Ishvara, etc. in the picture, agham papam, they will be full of conflicts, etc. Arrogance, that will lead into a lot of conflicts. How conflicts? One is arrogance. I did everything. I start thinking I am bigger than everything else. So your interpersonal relationships start deteriorating. Then if you have failure, you don't take it as prasada. You begin to have self-judgment. So 2-3 times you fail, I am a failure, self-judgment. I am successful, arrogance, I am failure, loser tag. Both are not true. Both are self-judgments. So many things you have done which are successful. Yeah. You survived, no? 30-40 years, that's successful. If you are a senior citizen, big success, okay? Half the population has not reached there. Yeah. And if you are a super senior citizen, congratulations. And if you are a super senior citizen enjoying good health, even more. All this is success or not success? Is it God's grace? Yeah, God's grace, that's true. It's always God's grace. But you have done a lot to keep it that way. Yeah, because I understood some of the principles and I lived by them. Therefore, fine. So that attitude makes you spiritual. Without that attitude, what spirituality are you talking about? Tell me. It will become Nietzsche's brand of spirituality. Superego. Nietzsche's brand of Nietzsche, the German philosopher, who was the inspiration for Hitler. He created a very arrogant school of thought. Yeah. Egocentric, very egocentric school of thought will create. Yeah. Here people built empires and remained humble. Yeah. What is that humility? Humility is nothing but acknowledging the role of Ishvara and others in your success. That's all. Yeah. As simple as that. All right. Then he is presenting a simple universal order for the masses to understand in very simple terms. Let's look at that. Annad bhavati bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavah yajnat bhavati parjannah yajna karma samudbhava karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahma aksharat samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishtitam. The topic extends over 2 verses, that's why I said that. Annad bhavati bhutani. This is simple law of association is using, okay. Annad bhavati bhutani. From food that people eat, the creatures are born, people are born, living organism is born, sustained and dies. Annad bhavanti. Parjanyat anna sambhavaha. Wherever there is food, there has to be rain. Without rain, there is no food. No, we can live on planktons and seaweed and things like that. Correct, we can. That's all rainwater, okay? Sea water. So, without water is life, okay? Therefore, parjanyat anna sambhava. Where does the rain come? Yajnat bhavati parjanyaha. Here it is a sheer law of association. From the yajna, the rain is born. Because the seasons are looked upon as a yaga of nature. That is one thing. And even directly if you take, it is said, if any major ritual you are doing and successful, there will be rain. I have found that even in public talks, one day there will be a small bit of rain to indicate success. Meaning, it has gone well. It is in harmony with Ishvara's order. And there is a yaga for rain also. Not an easy yaga to do. Okay? Because the priest has to put his money where his mouth is. Sorry, his life where his mouth is. I had the fortune of seeing it one in Kerala. Okay? This very, this yaga is very beautiful. So the yaga goes on for 2-3 days. Okay? The whole yaga for getting rain. It is usually done when the rains have failed, there is a drought in the offing, that time they will do this. And the final action is everyone leaves the Yajnashala, all the pandal and everything that is there, everyone leaves it, only the main priest will be there. He will set fire to the whole Yajnashala and he will sit in the middle. The rains have to come and put it off. People who criticize religion or praise religion, either way, how many will have the guts to do this? How many people have the strong conviction to do something like this? You are setting everything to fire. I know I have done everything correctly. It has to rain. I will put my life where my mouth is. He sits, and I have seen the rains coming and putting it off. Okay, that is another yaga. It is by these, when you see these actions, your Shraddha, your trust, your confidence in the Shastra grows. Yeah. Okay. Samjay, I find that difficult to believe. So try it out, no? Do some karma and see what happens. Try it out. You don't have to take my word. Try it out. Not something big like this. This will cost lakhs of rupees to do. Because whole pandal has to be put up, that priest who are to expert in this field has to come. Therefore, try smaller things and see if it works out. Yeah, all right. And all right, yajnat bhavati par. And from where does yajna come? Karma. All yajnas depend on karma. No? All right. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Karma is born from where? Brahma. Brahma here stands for the Veda. All the karmas that you should do, should not do, etc., etc., is mentioned in the Veda. Remember, world champion, the rule of the champion boxer. When the main is mentioned, highest is mentioned, lower is included. So your worldly karmas is included. Karma, he says, brahmodbhavam vidhi, is born from the Veda. All right. And where did Brahma come, the Veda come from? Akshara samudbhavaha, from Ishvara himself. Internal evidence of the Vedas such as Ishvarena Nishwasitam Vedaha. Okay. The Veda was revealed by Ishvara as effortlessly as drawing a breath. Internal evidence. Okay. Is there any external evidence? Vedas were revealed before humanity was there. So what external evidence do you expect? This external evidence thinking is from our Western logic. Everything has to be external. External validation is necessary. But then you say your self-esteem, etc., has to be internal validation. Where are you going to see Ishvara revealing the Veda? Tell me. You are not there. No human being was there when it was revealed. It is the manual of the whole creation. So when the creation was there, the manual also came along with it. The knowledge of everything came along with it. Can't have it separate. Can't have it separate. Yeah. All right. Therefore, Aksharat Samadbhava. Therefore, he says, Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma. The Veda that deals with everything, Nityam Yajna Pratishtitam. The main thing in the Veda is the Yajna, the worship of Ishvara. Worship, meaning you do various things to get what you need. That's the whole thing. Yeah. Therefore, it is not, again, Western religions looking at this says, you are bartering with God, you are bargaining with God. No. The Lord has said, you do this, you will get it. So you are doing it. Simple as that. Yeah. Hindus like to barter with God. That's a criticism. Born from people who don't understand. Yeah. If you say that this will get you this, we do it. Because you want it. Yeah, Karthik, you had a question.
Yes, Swami, in a different context,
Yeah.
You had mentioned that the rituals enhanced our
worldly actions. Yeah.
Worldly actions. But what I'm understanding here is that the Vaidika karmas are then considered the highest, though.
Yeah, yeah. Because what is the... Okay. When you are having a freedom of choice, if I know, if I can see, if I do this, I will get this. Easy to do it, no? But in many Vedika karmas, you don't see the result immediately. And the Veda is revealing things that you don't know. How rain happens. We have been studying about rain from the time we are in the 4th standard. Heat of the sun, the water evaporates, it comes down. From that onwards to the isothermal bars, etc., 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 advanced study, wind patterns, this, that. Yeah. We have been studying all that. Correct? This a human being can figure out by the God-given means of thinking and knowing. Perception, inference, etc., we can figure it out. Now, what is it that we cannot figure out? That is revealed by the Veda. That's why the Vedic karma is considered the highest karma. I don't believe that you do a ritual, rains will come. But if you put silver iododes into the clouds, rains will come. There is a logic behind it. Here also there is a logic. One logic is scientific, other logic is dialectical. That's the only difference. The difference is only logical. What is the paradigm of logic? A scientific paradigm or a dialectical paradigm? If you say only the scientific paradigm is true, that's having an arrogance which science is not supposed to have. Because if you study the history of science, it's always correcting its own past mistakes. Every new discovery is actually correcting a past mistake. So science cannot afford to be that arrogant. Nor should religion be arrogant, because religion is not meant to be arrogant. You're supposed to have a sense of humility because you respect Ishvara's order. So that is where the whole thing is coming from. What we cannot figure out, the Veda has to reveal. Or the Veda reveals what we can't figure out. Therefore, it may not fit into our paradigms of logic. Want to accept it, accept it. Don't want, don't do it. Nobody is forcing anyone to do anything or any of the Vedic karmas, okay? Yeah. Nobody is. Want to do, do. Don't want to do, don't do. But this is not working out. Do this. There is a solution available. Can you guarantee it will work? Everything has to be done properly. There is no guarantees. Is there any guarantee that the action that you are doing now to make some project work out will work out? Is there a guarantee for that? Samajhi, but we have all best practices. We have taken universal best practices and put it into this project. Correct. Still, is there a guarantee? I have done enough projects to know that there is no guarantee. Okay. I have done scientific projects, non-scientific projects. Okay. Intelligence projects. Okay. Assault projects. What all? There is no guarantee of success in anything. Oh, we did a project analysis. We have an 80% chance of success. Great. Then 20% can be bridged by my hard work. Hopefully. I will have to say hopefully. Is there a guarantee? No guarantee. Yeah. That's how the nature of karma is. There is no guarantee. Why? Because there is many a slip between the cup and the lip. That's why we'll say cross your fingers. Here we will say, hey, fold your hands and say a prayer, hoping that the karma that is there in your past, which is against the success of this operation, will go through. Will be taken care of. So say a prayer. But finally remember anything, everything is finite. Therefore, there will be a time when this will not work. Nothing is infinite, it's all limited. Therefore, meant for a limited thing. My child was not getting married, so I did a Swayamvara Parvati Homa for my child. Good. Then half a dozen boys turned up. I don't like any of them. Now, main kya karu? What can I do if you don't like any of them? Yeah. You wanted one, half a dozen has turned up. Abhi kya? No, I was looking for the ideal man. Doesn't exist. It's like a man who told me once, I was looking for an ideal girl, Swamiji. And then what happened? I found her. Oh, really? What happened? She was looking for the ideal man and I wasn't that. ये बात होता है, okay. So the whole thing is within this limited functioning. Yeah. Whether you talk about physics or chemistry or science or biology or this thing, it's all within this limited world. So everything is limited. But you have a perspective of it, that what is behind it, Aksharam Brahma itself, the Ishvara is behind this whole thing. Yeah. Manifestation is finite. Ishvara is limitlessness. Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma. The Brahma, the Veda, that deals with so many things. The cornerstone is a yajna. Why? You want things? Do things. Do something. You are rewarded not for what you know, but for what you do. Yeah, you get karma phala only for karma, no? There is no jnana phala. Is there? I gained success because of jnanam. Provided you apply that jnanam to do something. There's only one thing where only knowledge is enough. That's moksha. For everything else, you have to back it up with action. Therefore, the whole Veda is committed to your action, he says. Therefore, he says, Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartiyati hayaha aghayuhu indriya ramaha mogham partha sajivati. Evam pravartitam chakram. This wheel of life that is based on karma that is going on, na anuvartati yaha. Yaha iha na anuvartati. Who, yaha, who, iha here in this life, na anuvartati, does not follow it. Aghayuhu. What a life he is living. It's full of selfishness and adharmic activities. Aghayuhu. Indriya Rama. See, if you leave out spirituality from the whole thing, what are you? खाओ पियो मजाक करो और क्या है? Indriya Rama. What else is left in your life? If you take out spirituality from your life, what is left? If you take out dharma from your life, what is left? Minimum is dharma. But Swamiji, animals don't have all that. Correct. So you're living a life like an animal. There's a very nice Subhashitani in Sanskrit, all these proverbial statements. Ahara nidra bhayam maitunam cha. Ahara, food. Nidra, sleep. Bhayam, fear, insecurity. Maitunam, sexual activity, etc. Samanam etat pashubhir naranam. These are the same between an animal and a human being. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko visheshaha. Dharma is a plus point in a human being, he says. Adhikaha vishesha, extra. Dharmo vihinaha pashubhis samanaha. One bereft of dharma He is like an animal only. So dharma is what? Recognizing the universal. May not be moksha yet, but at least recognizing the play of the universal in your life. Play of Ishvara's order in your life. Some things can be explained, some things has to be figured out by yourself. Some things you have to recognize it yourself, how it is happening. The play of Ishvara is very beautiful when you look at it. That is why in modern so-called secular spirituality, they will say, whole universe has conspired to bring you here. What is this, a conspiracy theory or what? It's Ishvara's order at play. When you look at that play, you say you couldn't have been anywhere but here. Plus the choices, and that includes the choices that you have made. Because you are not just an onlooker in God's creation. You are not someone who is a helpless victim in God's creation. You are an active participant in it. Every time you use your freedom of choice, and if that freedom of choice is governed by dharma, you are definitely a participant in it. Yeah. I told you that old story, no? There was this ashram, many ashrams do this. In Sikhism, it's very, very high, of Annadana. You give food to anyone who comes, And there are many people who fall on bad times and therefore they need a meal. Come and eat. Like during COVID time and everything, in both our Rishikesh and Coimbatore ashram, almost 1,000 people were eating every day. Yeah. We managed to scrounge and scrape funds and send them that, Yeah. So, in this ashram also there was, and the Mathadipati is watching those who are coming and eating, and there is one hatta-gatta young man there. So after he finished, and he called him, Beta. He says, you are a hatta-gatta young man, why are you depending on free food? Maharaji, I have been struggling for a job for so long. I couldn't find one. Not even spare jobs, handyman jobs off and on. And so for 3 days I have not eaten, therefore I was forced to come here and eat. You are willing to do a Swamiji, any job I am willing to do. Okay, come with me. You get into a barren land. This land belongs to the ashram. You cultivate this land. In the meantime, you can stay here in the ashram and eat here in the ashram. You cultivate them. Once the crops come up, etc., 50% you donate to the ashram, 50% is yours. The guy was saying, Swamiji, I am blessed. I will touch your feet. Such an offer, where? Where will you get such an offer? With only my labor investment, 50% of the profits is mine. Not only profits, 50% of the produce is yours. You have put nothing into it except your labor. Great deal. You won't get such a deal in Shark Tank, okay? You go to the Shark Tanks for funding, you won't get such a good deal there. So, good deal, he went. All right. And the person was he got a break in life. He's working hard, it's barren land, he had to struggle over it. But he knew, morning and evening food is available for him, place to stay is available, aur kya chahiye, chalo. And Mandaleshwars of ashrams are smart people. The crop is full, getting ready for harvest, when the Mandaleshwar walks down, the head of the ashram walks down, and he sees all, Swamiji, by your blessings all this is done. So he says, Beta, look what you and God have done together. So the man bows down and says, that is true, Maharaji, but you should have seen this land when only God was there. You are an active participant in Ishvara's creation. Your effort, yes. The earth, Ishvara. Fertility, Ishvara. Rain, Ishvara. The potential for the seed to sprout and to become a plant, Ishvara. Nothing ravaging the whole thing like drought, etc., Ishvara. So the Mahant was right. Look at what you and God has done together. You are a participant in Ishvara's creation, not a spectator, not a victim. The more you understand the order, the more you become like that. In fact, the more you understand the order, the more success comes to you also. Because you understand what is working and what is not working. But sometimes, of course, your karma and other people's karma may be against what you did. So, there may be delays, there may be things not working out. It is not that Ishvara's order has not worked out. Your desire has not worked out, that's all. Because human beings are, the freedom to desire is so total, you can desire anything. No? I can desire tomorrow that I should be able to flap my hands and fly. But the order doesn't accept that. But desire I can have. Okay, I'll show you a way. Put some gliders on your hands and then from jump off from the cliff, you'll glide into the thing. Yeah, that much you can do. The order accepts that. So can you see how the order is? When I say order, it is not that everything is strict, straight jacket, this has to happen. No, it's open and flexible. It's like a matrix. That's why the first movie Matrix was very good. It's like a matrix. Simulated reality, yaar, or kya? Nothing is real anyway. Nothing is real. What is real? So you pull one end here, something else happens there. You pull this thing here, something else will happen there. And you keep pulling something, nothing seems to happen. Nothing seems to happen. A lot of things are happening behind the scenes. So that's why the whole thing goes. So what is he saying here? What he is saying here is to recognize all this makes you a karma yogi. Okay. Yeah, karma yogi is Ishvara Arpanam Prasada Buddhi, that is true. But you are enhancing that with this understanding of the whole cosmic order. So certain things he has said, lot of things he has not said, lot of things I have not said. That you have to understand from your own thinking. See the play of Ishvara in your life. See how it is worked out. Or not worked out. Or this thing, whatever. There is a play of Ishvara in your life. Learn to recognize that. That involves some own contemplation. Whatever is happening in your life, the good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah. Swamiji, my horoscope is like a horoscope. Correct, you are paying off karma. Yeah. You are paying off for your past karma, that's all. Or kya? Order is at work. Yeah. It seems so contradictory. Correct. Yeah. It's human beings' right to be contradictory anyway. Yeah. Where did you learn that? Oh, I learned that from my girlfriend long back. Before I joined the ashram. We were going for a walk and she was saying something and so I said, you're so contrary, you're contradicting yourself. So she turned and said, it's a woman's right to be contradictory. What can you answer that? You put an arm around her. Or so I extend that. It's a human being's right to be contradictory. Because human beings are contradictory people. So what? It's okay. Yeah. Well, it's like on a Saturday night. You attend a nice Gita class and you see the Ishvara's order. Ah, that's good. Then your friends call you out. Hey, let's go and have a drink. That's also okay. Why? You're being literally spiritual. Okay. That's called bending the elbow spirituality. Okay. is all inclusive. Vedanta in that way is all inclusive. It can include every aspect of your life into it. Yeah. That's why you will see when you find, now I am not as a Vedanta teacher encouraging people to go drinking, okay? No, that's not what I am doing. I am only acknowledging that people can do it and we can accept it. You see something very traditional when Indians drink. I don't know whether they realize fully what they are doing. Have you seen them offering a little bit from the glass? First peg that they pour, they'll offer something. That's offered to the gods, okay? Before I drink, I am offering it to the Lord. I am offering it to Bhudevi. Have you seen the chaiwalas on the road? The first cutting cup of chai, what will they do? Pour it on the ground. What are you dirtying the place for? Offering it to Bhudevi. So there is spirituality even there, okay? Before you start drinking, Ishara Arpanam, and then drink. It seems contrary, yeah, it seems contrary, but that's human desire, that's okay. You've been given the freedom for that. Yeah. Though it's also, there's a guidance given, Suram na pibed, don't get into alcohol and things like that, it can be a problem for your health. Health issue, not a moral issue, a health issue. So that is also mentioned. So, it's universal. Yeah, universal. So this is speaking in terms of the order, okay? Okay. Indriya Rama Mogham Partha Sajivati. He lives in vain, he says. Because what are you doing? Khao piyo maja karo. Aur kya? Aur kuch nahi hai. What have you achieved in life? Besides khao piyo maja karo. You know, I've seen people like this who lived a life of indulgence. By the time they are 70 or so, I look at them, they seem to be such broken individuals, you know. It's only in movies like My Fair Lady and all you will see My Fair Lady's father. Just because I am drunk doesn't mean my needs are less, my needs are more. The best natural philosopher in the country. Yeah, there you will see, but in real life when you see, I've seen so many of them. I meet all types of people, interact with a lot of them. Sometimes I feel sorry for them at the end of it. By 70, 75, they're finished. Completely finished. Burnt out. They're waiting for death, literally. क्या बात है? अभी क्या है? What can I do now? Let us say, अब तो बिल्कुल बूढ़ा हूँ, गोली खाकर जीता हूँ. He can't even sing because they're so unhappy. Because khao piyo maja karo was all their life and now they can't do it anymore. Where is the growth that they are supposed to have in their life? You come with nothing, you go with nothing. Only take your growth with you, your punya papa with you, that's all. And if you want to call the bluff and finish the game, moksha straight. Understand the truth of what you have called the bluff of the creation. Ishvara will say, well done beta, that's it. You got it. Yeah. That's it. So your choice, what you want to do. Okay. Okay. Then he paints the opposite picture. Okay. Of a wise person who knows the truth about things. Okay. But that we will see next class. Okay. A good place to stop. Okay. Om Tat Sat. Have a great time.